Benjamin Hermansen was a 15-year-old Norwegian Ghanaian born in 1985 and raised in Holmlia, a suburb of Oslo, the country's capital. Known for his kind and outgoing nature, Benjamin was deeply loved by his family and friends. But something happened to him, something extremely unnecessary, coward, and brutal. It is shocking how one human being can have the courtesy to do this to another just because of their race, because of the color of their skin. This kid did nothing wrong to the ones who preyed on him, and what occurred to him was absolute nonsense. Let's get into this. On the night of January 26, 2001, Benjamin was walking with a friend, Heidi, near a supermarket in Holmlia. They were approached by members of a neo-Nazi group called the Boot Boys, a violent far-right gang active group in Norway at the time. Benjamin, who was black, was stabbed in a racially motivated attack, one of the clearest examples of hate crime in Norway's history. The stabbing occurred outside a convenience store in eastern Oslo. According to the Oslo University Hospital Autopsy Division, Benjamin was stabbed 3 times, being in the back, chest, and right arm. While Norway has seen minor instances of racism, mostly online posts, text messages, things like that, killing someone for their race shocked the nation and was widely condemned. Benjamin's funeral took place on February 6, 2001. The Mardison Bergave funeral service assisted the family during this difficult time, while Jostad, Norway's largest funeral home, handled broader arrangements. A ceremony was held at the Holmlia Kirk, which in English stands for Holmlia Church, in Oslo. Despite the family not being members of the Church of Norway, a large crowd attended. Friends performed a song called Song to Benjamin, which was later recorded by artists like Nora Noor and Briskeby. Benjamin was buried at the Klemstrud Cemetery in Oslo Kommune, a small town near that capital. Meanwhile, the police investigated this murder by stabbing. A total of 3 suspects, all neo-Nazis, were tied to the crime. They had formed a close bond over drinking and listening to white power music, and would often frequent record stores to make purchases. On the night of the attack, this white group was repeatedly looking for a black person to target. 21-year-old Ole Nikolai Wiesler and 17-year-old Veronica Andreasen were arrested during home raids, where police discovered neo-Nazi extremist material. At the Manglerud police station, Nikolai claimed Joe stabbed Benjamin alone, while Veronica claimed Nikolai struck Benjamin first and then Joe stabbed him. They were blaming this on each other. Both spent the night in the station's holding cells. The third and last suspect, Joe Erlingjar, 19 years old, fled the country, traveling through Sweden to Denmark. He was spotted by the police at the Copenhagen Central Station, the train station, and detained. At the Copenhagen Central Police Station, his identity as a murder suspect was confirmed. The following day, he appeared before Copenhagen City Court, and extradition requirements were confirmed. He was transported by Danish authorities back to the Manglerud police station in Oslo, where he spent the night and denied killing Benjamin. Nikolai and Veronica made their first court appearance on January 27, 2001, and Joe on the 29th. Judge Toriel Mary Oy remanded all three into custody at the Oslo prison in the Roneland area to await trial. Public prosecutor Berita Sackfossen charged the three suspects, Joe and Nikolai, with murder and aggravation, Veronica with bodily harm. All three were provided public defense attorneys and pleaded not guilty. In January 2002, the three were put on trial at the Oslo City Court where proceedings were being conducted. Judge Jan Martin Flawed, along with two lay judges from the public, listened to gruesome evidence. They ultimately found the trio guilty. For Joe, guilty of intentional murder with racist motive. For Nikolai, guilty of the same charge. And for Veronica, guilty of bodily harm resulting in death. The sentences were imposed immediately after the verdicts. The judge sentenced Joe to 16 years, Nikolai to 15 years, and Veronica to 3 years. That judge providing the sentence was Judge Vlad. Joe and Nikolai were remanded into the Isla prison at the municipality of Byrum. Veronica into the Bredtveit prison in Oslo. Veronica was released in 2005. The other two were released in 2014. The prosecution appealed, claiming the sentences were too lenient. And the defense as well appealed. But the Borgarting Court of Appeal made its final ruling. That was in December 2002. The sentence of Joe was increased to 18 years, of Nikolai to 17 years, and the sentence of Veronica remained 3 years. The convictions were affirmed. The following year, the Norwegian Supreme Court refused to hear the case, making the appellate decision final. Thank you for listening to this story on Strawberry Ink. Till next time, take care, stay safe, and have a good rest of your day. There is no place for such acts. And may Benjamin rest in peace. These three suspects continue attending neo-Nazi rallies after their release.